Kannan, Vivek, and all those who helped. And I see Mr. Sethuraman there. Sethuraman, come here and say a few words for Karthikeya. Sethuraman is a scholar. He has to say a few words on this day. Come. No, after you. Sethuraman is most knowledgeable in all the Shastras. All the people I know, he's the most knowledgeable. And his gift is, he's got Jupiter's grace. All the gurus, whoever they are, they love him. There is some connection, he must have served them, some connection deep. Even our guru, he spent the most of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. We all know why we are here. Some people, I just want to let you know one thing important, very short one. Because we all know today is Lord Muruga's day in a way. But sometimes people call it like today is his birthday. To me, it's a very wrong identity, because there are 8. We all know there are 8 Puranas, main Puranas in our scriptures, and one of the Purana of the 8 Puranas is 18 Puranas is Skantam. That Skanda Purana is the biggest Purana of all the Puranas, because more than 1/4 of all the slokas you can find in the Skantam, and the rest of the 3/4 roughly is in the 17 other Puranas. The Skandam was not translated, but it's written in Tamil. It is called as Kanda Puranam. And in Kanda Puranam, Sivacharya describes today the appearance of Lord Muruga. The reason I say appearance again instead of saying birthday, it's because they don't have birthdays. They came, they appear. It is just like our sun. Sun, we call it sun rises. The main reason we call it sun rises is because sun is always there. When you are sleeping in the midnight, sun is someplace there also. It never goes out. It never dies. But sun is always there. But you see him in the very early morning when he rises. That is why we call it that sun rises. It's not sun's born or something like that. Similar thing with God. They are not born. That is why I talk about Kachipa Sivacharya is. I'm going to quote a small Tamil poem written by him in the Kanda Puranam. Yes. Aruvamum uruvumahi anadiyai palavai ondrai பிரம்மமாய் நின்ற ஜோதி பிழம்பதோர் மேனியாக கருணை கூர் முகங்கள் ஆறும் கரங்கள் 12 கொண்டே ஒரு திருமுருகன் வந்தாங்கு உதித்தனன் உலகமுய்ய. I just refer to the meaning in a bit, but the key word is ஒரு திருமுருகன் வந்து ஆங்கு உதித்தனன் உலகமுய்ய. Udithanan is a proper Tamil word for rising. He rises. He was not born, he rises. That is why the whole song says is simply this. Arvumum urvumagi anadiyai palavai ondrai. Because Arvum and Urvum. He has a body, they don't have a body. Arvum urvumagi anadiyai. Anadiyai means beginning, without beginning. Adi, anadi. Adi means beginning, starting. Without beginning, it's eternal. There is no beginning, there is no end, right? For Godward, there is no beginning, there is no end. He is eternal. Anuvum uruvumahi anadiyai palavai, because they encompass the whole world. Palav. Everything you see is reflection. So, arvumum urvumagi anadiyai palavai ondrai. Ondrai. because he is Ekam. Nobody is equal to God. God is single. God is one. Palavai Undrai, Brahmamai Nundra Jodi Prambu or Maniyaga. The Brahman, we know the Brahman is. It's a Jodi. It's like a light. Biggest light. That light takes a form, takes a body. Arum Urumahi Anadiyai Palavai Bundrai Brahmamandra Jodi Prambu or Maniyaga. How does it take the form? Karunaikur Muhangal Arum. The beautiful 6 faces with a lot of compassion in it. Karunaikur Muhangal Arum. Karangal Pannirendum Konde with 12 hands. Oru, he still uses the word oru, single, ekam. Oru Thiru Murugan Vandangu, Udithanan Ulagamuya rising. He's always there. It manifests. They manifest. So today is the day he manifested. For what? He says, Maragalin Mudival Vakal, Manadinala Kunnamal, Niraivudan Yandumahi, Nindridum Nimalamurti, Arumuga Uruai Tondri, Arulodu Saravanatin, Verigamal Kamalapodil, Vitirindarulinani, to give us His grace. He came today. He came out today. It was not His birthday. When we say it, another beauty thing is, He selected this day, this Visakam star. In astrologically speaking, there are about 8 stars listed as Tiduru Nakshatrangal in Tamil. That means that those nakshatrams will give you something bad when you do certain things on that particular nakshatra. And one of the very first one they say is Visakam. And he selected that day to show you, to tell you, you come to me. Those nakshatras are not going to do anything to you. That's why he selected the Visakam nakshatram. There is another main thing on this star is Lord Buddha received his knowledge. He became a sannyasi and everything, complete thing, on this day, on a Vaikasi Visakam day. That is Lord Buddha, become Lord Buddha. Gautama become Lord Buddha on this particular day. It's a knowledge. It's a day of knowledge. Lord Muruga is knowledge, we know, because he talks about Guru. He is a Siva Guru. He was teaching Pranava. He was telling, even Lord Shiva, what he thinks Pranava is, right? So, this is a very, very beautiful, auspicious day. And it's a Guru's day kind of thing, in a way. And I just want to share with you what usually I think and little know of things around here. And I thank Doctor for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. I don't want to take too much of your time because he has to say a lot of things about the upcoming construction. So I don't want to take too much of your time. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Here, Doctor.
Thank you. Vaikasi Visakam is over. It was on Tuesday, and we did a ceremony, and he has given us second chance to redo the whole function, and we had the opportunity to be able to do it today because you people probably were not free on a working day. So it is the second function we are doing. That's a gift he has given us. Karthikeya, as you know, is the most powerful gods. I hate to use the word gods. There's only one god by definition. G-O-D, goddess, guiding, organizing and designing principle, G-O-D. She is the only goddess, but she becomes many. First transcendence would be Trimurtis, then many elements because she has created Asuras and Devas. Both are her children. So she knows humans cannot survive. They need help. So periodically Shiva Bhagavan, Mahavishnu, even Brahma, even Mahasaraswati destroys the asuras. But the three asuras who Karthikeya slayed are the mightiest one, Surapadman, Taragasuran and Simhamuhan. And strangely, the mother of those is Maya. She is Mahamayi. She is not Maya. So don't confuse that. She is Mahamayi. She is a pure, undivided, primordial beginning of everything. Consciousness, pure consciousness. And she oscillated. And that oscillation is called Spanda. So Spanda must have come before Nada. Before the Pranava, Spanda must be the first action of her. She is always vibrating. And science now says anything existing vibrates. Otherwise it doesn't exist. So vibration is most predominant. Even during pralaya means periodically the whole thing goes back to origin. Everything becomes subtle. No creation. It goes back to origin. Even that time, the spanda persists. The nada even disappears. Spanda aspect persists. So she's spanda karika. And the vibration is spanda. But among all the cosmic elements came from her, Karthikeya would be the most powerful. Even Krishna Bhagavan says, among the general, I'm Skanda. He is using the best of everything, like among the rivers, Ganga. So he's saying examples. Among the generals, Karthikeya would be the most powerful and also most kind, because he took the evil as his vehicle. And that's very symbolic. That's what we have to learn. Take that asuras. Who are they? Ignorance, all the kama, krodha, lobha, mosha, mada, matsarya, all the negative elements we have. We all have. Different degree, different level. How to control them, and not only control them, use them for our evolution. And that's an example here where is mighty enemies. The mighty enemies, you can't conceptualize how powerful they are. They did great penance, but mother was Maya, not Mahamaya, Maya. And she had given them everything. Whatever they need, they can't be killed, they can't be destroyed. They are mighty. And Karthikeya destroyed. And that drama, there are many, many other elements. Veerabhagu, you should think of Veerabhagu, because he is the commander for Karthikeya. Bhanugopan, you should think of, because he is the most powerful next to Surapadman. That was his son. And all this are very symbolism. They gave a name and a form, but all this exists, but as cosmic energies. They are not human, mind, body, intellect, and the density. They are much beyond that, much more energetic that we can conceptualize this mighty asura. So Bhanugopan was his son, and he was also slain by Karthikeya. And finally, Surapadman comes. He becomes. The story is very long. He changes. He can change forms. And he had all the mighty asuras. Mohanastra was one of them. There are many asura weapons they used. But Karthikeya controlled all of it. At the end, he had one which nobody had. No guards. I use the word guards for high cosmic energies. None of them had that. That was Shaktivel. And the Bhuvaneshwari, mother, Mahamayi, as Bhuvaneshwari, one of the aspects we relate to, as Bhuvaneshwari, she gave Shaktivel to Karthikeya. What is Shaktivel? Intense wisdom, intense intellect, intense knowledge, which can pierce anything and show the truth. So it's a weapon if it's used properly. So the Shaktivel was the one which gave him might, that might which no one else possessed. not even Mahavishnu, not even Shiva Bhagavan. That's why he had the ability to explain the secret of Pranava, because that intellect all comes from the Shakti veil which he possessed, and he explained the 96 tattvas, which Pranava, I keep on saying the Om, the way you should pronounce, many vibrations wake up. And the 96 tattvas are creation. Anything which is in the universe, either this universe or any universe, have to be one of those tattvas. Tattvas are elemental realities. These are tattvas. And there are many of them, starting with the Pranava. There is other aspect like Ida, Pingla, Sushumna, the speeches, Vaikari, Para, Pashyantya, all the tattvas, the 96 of them. They come from Aum, A-U-M, Agara, Ugara, Magara. From Agara, 8 tattvas come, from Ugara, 2, from Magara, 6. They permute, they divide, they join, and net would be the 96 tattvas. So that is a full creation. That's the truth of Pranava. That's what he was explaining to Shiva Bhagavan. So on this day, you think of all that. So all this, so our mind is very rudimentary and very limited, very restricted. We cannot comprehend the depth of it. But as a supersensual being we can, but we are not supersensual. The closest supersensuals this temple is full of them would be Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas. Those would be the supersensual cosmic energy and Kundalini energy. They're all here very actively. And Mother is giving us the most magnificent Sannidhanams. Even this looks so magnificent. But the one inside is 3 times as large. The Sannidhanam for Mother is huge and very, very meaningful. And next to them would be Karthikeya and Ganesha. We have started it, and hopefully we will complete by middle of September. I want some safety margin because we want to perform Navaratri there. Navaratri this year comes early, 6th of October. It's early, so we don't have too much time. So I hope with her kindness and grace, we will complete the planning. She does all the planning. And then we have to continue the construction. We will finish up the flooring, HVAC, and the occupancy permit. But the other Sannidhanams are almost 33. You have seen them in the model. That will take at least year and a half maybe. Because the Sannidhanams are designed by her. They're not easy. They conceptualize the divine to you. And even at the entrance, it will be most marvelous entrance you have seen. There will be Shiva Bhagavan sitting and Ganga Devi will be falling on him. Very meaningful statue, big one. And it's not easy to design because when Ganga Devi comes, she's water. And winter we have to find a way to circulate that water. It's very, very complex. She will do it. Then other side, initially we thought we will place Agastya Bhagavan. Agastya Bhagavan is very active. Today you should think of Agastya Bhagavan and Bhoga Maharishi. Both of them are very closely connected to Karthikeya. To receive Karthikeya's energy, you think of Agastya Bhagavan, Lobamutra. Lobamutra is a great Maharishi. And Bhogasithar. Bhogasithar is a great Rishi. Mother sent me there almost 30 years ago to Parni. There is a cave where Bhogasithar meditated. So she said, you go there and invoke him and bring him to my house here because he will give knowledge to many of my devotees. See how precisely she plans. Nobody can plan this. I won't even know. I've never been to Parni, but I've identified it, went down to the caves deep down, and he has meditated. His energy is very intense there, and that energy is transferred here through the mantras. Again, everything is through her. Otherwise, nothing I can do, because we cannot do. Like I'm going to Himalayas in a month or 2 or 3, I don't know when, hopefully in a couple of months. She wants to activate a mantra in Gauri Kund. Gauri Kund you may not know. Gauri Kund is close to Kedarnath. It's a lake, big lake. And Mother meditated there when she wanted to create us, create any life form. Trillion, we are only 7 billion. Trillion life forms. She went there and meditated, sacrificed herself to create us, because we are part of her. She didn't create, she became us. Human in earth is the highest, but there are many other planets much higher than us. And the Karthikeya ladies came from Pleiades. You heard of Pleiades? That's one of the constellation, very powerful constellation. And Karthikeya energy comes from that Pleiades. So we are, in a way, came from them. Orion is another constellation. Many humans came from these are all the constellations from which we are transplanted. By mean, that cosmic sand, cosmic particle hit the earth, which was just forming. It was a gaseous mass. All of us were just gaseous mass. Sun happened to solidify first, and sun happened to be the largest one, 13 times as big as Earth, and so it had more gravitational pull. So it captured those planets which form in our backyard, our family, our sun. Sun is a representation of Surya Narayana. Narayana aspect, billions of them. In our own galaxy, there are billions of sun, and there are billions of galaxies. So you can imagine the mightiness of her. How can she create not only one universe? Now they are saying there are multiple universes. And she creates it by just mere thought. But in Gauri Kund, she meditated and sacrificed. So it's an act of sacrifice of her. We came. And you can imagine she sits there and writes our story many times, almost 1 million lifetime each one of us. There are trillion of the life form. Humans are 7 billion, but there are trillion life forms. Each one of us, she writes the story, and then she lets us act out. So she's a producer, director, and then she lets us act. Now what is the purpose of all that? She wanted to experience herself. She was alone, only one which existed. Through us, she experiences. And that is the gift she had given. And this temple is very unique because usually we build temples. We started like that. But she gives all the instruction. Who I want, how I want, what aspect of mine I want. Like Drishtipidam, she wants 14 of her aspects. Who are the closest deities to us? Grama Devatas. And Grama Devatas are very powerful. And they are the most important. Like a constable and a president. Constable is more important to me standing in front of my house. Thieves don't come because they see a policeman there.